Hey, Simone here with Bulletproof Business Growth. As always, with some ideas and insights, what to pay attention to when you're ready to really grow and scale your business. Now, it's the end of August. That means we have 4 more months left. So we are 2/3 in. And for many of you, it's been not the easiest of all years. So we're coming out of summer. For a lot of people, that's been a time to get a little rest, do some things, go on a little bit of a vacation. And it also brings a lot of distractions with it. So this is the time where it's really the best time for us to refocus and to really look at the rest of this year. And, it always starts with that reset idea of where are you right now? And where do you really want to be? And while that sounds simple, when the year's been beating you up, it's really easy to lose focus of where you really want to go. It's easy to diminish, make goals smaller, just look at what you think you can have. So in this episode, what we really want to do is figure out how to make that choice to make the remaining 4 months the best month of the year, where you can show up with full focus, because that's your choice. You can either have full focus for the rest of the year with just 4 more months, or you can kind of peter out. So who do you want to be is really the question. So, for those of you who have had a bit of a tough year, who are a bit disappointed, it's really important to refocus and reset to create the clarity that you need so you won't shrink. Because that's the easiest thing to do when things haven't been going the way you want them to. You may have set some really clear, audacious goals at the beginning of the year, and then it just hasn't gone that way. And it's hard to keep showing up and hard to keep getting your breath back and getting the energy to keep getting up and keep doing it again. So this is the time to make that choice, make that decision, so that you have the clarity that you need to move forward in the most effective way. Now, if you're doing well, if this has been a good year for you, congratulations, that's awesome. So let's figure out what has been going so well so you can double down and keep going that way. So, everybody does not everybody, many people do the resetting and focusing in January, but now this is the time you might come up against and go, oh my God, the year's almost over. What am I going to do? But the truth is you can still make a really big difference. So this is where we can get you back on track, where you can refocus and hopefully get more enjoyment and more achievement out of this and really finish this year strong. So we want to make sure that we do that. So, for some people, summer is a big distraction. And then what happens is you go through summer, you kind of lose focus, you enjoy yourself, and then you kind of go straight into the holidays. So now we're losing not just the last 4 months of the year, but really the last 6 months of the year. So we don't want to do that. So this is the time to stop. And I like the way Deepak Chopra puts it. He pulls it apart, the word stop, and goes S for stop, T for think, O for observe, and P proceed with caution. So I like that little mantra because to me this is the opportunity to reflect. So we're going to talk about the 10 best questions that you really have to ask yourself so that you can recommit to your goals, that you can re-envision that big dream without shrinking, and you also really need to notice so far what's been happening, what's been holding you back. So, just a little bit, there we go. So first question that we really want to pay attention to that's really important is, what's the best thing that happened in each of the months of this year so far? So this is really important because it sounds simple, but what it does is it builds your strength. It makes you focus on your strengths. So if you go down every single month and you pick one of the most, maybe you'll have to look at your calendar to remember what happened, but pick whatever it was that really made you feel good. What did you want? And then maybe what did you want and what did you actually get? What was even better than you thought you planned for? So really focus on what were my strengths, where did I play all out, where did I get great results, even better results than I thought, and what was responsible for that. So we really want that. So that was the first question. Second question is, what do you absolutely have to stop doing? Because when you think about great leaders like Steve Jobs, one of the things that he always said, it's the best focus, the most important focus you get from saying no. So this is your time where you get to prune your business, do a little reflecting, look back over the last few months and go, okay, what's been sucking my energy, my time, my momentum, my revenue, my profit? What's been the stuff that I keep doing, but it really has no reason that I keep doing it? I'm just doing it because I'm doing it. But when I look at the results I'm getting out from it, it's basically doing the opposite. So this is the time to prune your business for growth. And that means we have to cut off the pieces. We have to prune the pieces that are sucking a lot of the life juice, but not really growing, that don't really give us the momentum, the long-term results that might be really important, the revenue, or certainly not the profit. So those things we have to let go of. So figure out what that is so that you can focus the remainder of the year on just those pieces where your energy is best spent. So first question was the best thing that happened to you in each month. Second question was, what do you have to stop doing? And then of course, we want to rebuild this piece and we want to go for what are the habits, the values, the beliefs that you need to instill, that you need to own, that you need to establish so that you can really reach those 2023 goals. So as we're setting up this remaining time to be the best time of the year for you so you can really focus, but that also means you might have to show up a little differently than you have been, because what do you need? Who do you need to be? What do you need to do so that you can really reach those big dreams? So, and when you think about this, what makes a goal different from a dream is a really good plan. So we want to make sure that you have to look at what habits have you not had, or what habits have you had that have prevented you from carrying out your goals. So, and when you look at this in terms of, these are some habits I need to build, these are some values I need to build, these are some beliefs I need to build so I can get to that big, big goal. Well, it might seem overwhelming because it might be a lot of stuff. So the most important thing about this is chunk it down so that it becomes actually achievable for you, that it becomes achievable, believable, doable, that you won't stop the second you start because it just seems like too much. So focus on those habits, values, beliefs, actions that will help you reach those 2023 goals. And one of my favorite books is Atomic Habits. And it all talks about how small actions done consistently get you to a big result. So now it is small actions done consistently will get you much closer to your goals than you have been before. So this is how you get on track, and then you can stack those small actions and make sure that they truly drive you to that outcome that you're looking for. So it's a really important piece because that means you can build that evidence over time that will keep you doing those new actions, that'll keep you owning those actions, those habits. Because habits only get established when you keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And when they're small but important things, it shifts the needle. And when you notice that, and that's the most important thing, when you do something new, you have to give yourself the credit. You have to recognize the evidence that what you're doing is working, because otherwise you won't keep doing it. So do yourself that favor as you establish these new habits, and as you stack those habits and you keep going, make sure that you notice that so that you will continue consistently. Most important thing. Now, these small habits those are all wonderful, but we're establishing all these beliefs, habits, actions. But what is the stuff that's been holding you back so far? And those are your fatal flaws, your roadblocks. Those are those things that you do or don't do over and over and over that are keep getting you stuck where you are. So, and it's important, we all want to have positive thinking. We want to focus on the stuff that's working. But when we're not being real with ourselves, that also means we are being delusional and we're ignoring the roadblocks that will keep getting in our way. So part of the question that you need to ask yourself is, what have you been ignoring? What's the stuff that you already know better than anybody that you should be doing that you're not doing right now? Because it's the stuff that you really don't want to fix that you need to fix the most. So give yourself that moment of honesty and reflection and go, all right, what's the stuff I already know I need to be doing and for some reason I'm not doing it? And then you can go down the list and chunk it down, make it more achievable, look at making, coming up with clear outcomes so that you will stick to that. Because again, anything you do, when you do it consistently, small things done consistently is much more powerful than making kind of a big push for it, but it's going to last for a minute. So then the next question you want to ask yourself is, hey, what are these kind of soul-sucking things that I've been putting off that are kind of, your favorite things to procrastinate? And they may just be really silly things like make that dentist appointment or, whatever it is that you need to get done on your house that's bugging you consistently, or if you haven't been cleaning your office for a while, whatever it is. But a lot of times there are these ideas that you kind of need to do it, you don't want to do it, so you keep pushing it off. But what that creates is a really noisy brain, and it's hard to be energetic, it's hard to be innovative and creative when you have a noisy brain. So we want to make sure that if there's a list of things you've been putting off, start checking them off one at a time. So make yourself a plan, get 1 or 2 things done every week or every day, however big they are, and then start checking them off. Because the beautiful thing that happens is, as you check those off, you will actually regain energy. So make sure you can note that you have that list so that you can actually visually prove to yourself that things are moving off your list so that you can have that moment of your relief. And another practice that really helps to get focused on the right stuff, of course, is gratitude. You want to start noticing what's gone really, really well for you this year. And you may have to break it down into months. You may break it down into projects or outcomes, people, interactions, whatever you want to do. But it's important to look at, what's the stuff, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of things that didn't work, what were the things that did work that I'm really, truly grateful for? And notice what your theme is. And this is really why I'm mentioning this piece. This is not just a mindset thing. This is actually very important for you to focus on the things that give you energy, that help you focus. So notice the theme in the things that you're grateful for, because it's not always what you think. When you go through the list, you may notice things that truly fill you, but you didn't even really notice that they were important. So come up with that theme that you're grateful for. Now, another really good practice is, or a question to ask yourself is, how do I want to feel the rest of this year? And you could even, some people make a mood board or a vision board, or you can do a practice that we really love to do with our clients where you fast forward in your mind to the end of 2023, you're there and you've achieved those goals that you set for yourself. What does that feel like? And it's important not to just think about this, but truly feel in your heart. What does that look like, taste like, feel like, smell like, sound like? Like, experience it with all your senses. Notice what it looks like when it's done. Maybe you want to set a word for yourself for how you got there, how the process felt. you might want to notice like which projects you really want to focus on, what's really important for you to get done. So you might have all this you might have this list of stuff that's really important to get done intellectually, but you want to focus on those things that truly also feed you. So what feels good? So that was question number 8. Question number 9 is, what have I learned? Because this is the interesting part. We go through learning experiences all year long. Like every time something works or doesn't work, we can make this a learning experience. And unfortunately, the way the adult brain works is if you don't lock it in, if you don't make it kind of a pause, something that you notice, and something that you actually lock in your brain, it'll just go right by you. So you want to write down all those lessons. They may be good ones and they may be difficult ones, but you want to write down, what have I learned? And really commit to that personal growth and improvement, because you can kind of just go through the motions, be in survival mode, which a lot of people have been in this year, and just kind of go through the motions, make things happen as you can, and you're not really noticing what's working, what's not working, and what did I learn, what am I going to do differently from here? Because you can let those moments pass and not really gain anything from them. Or when you're intentional and specific about it and you notice what the lessons were, you can get a lot of good out of all those learning opportunities. And then lastly, if you really need a kick in the ass, if you really need a little bit of motivation, you can come from the other direction and go, how will I feel when it becomes the end of the year and I've been drifting for these last 4 months as well? So this is the question from the other direction, where you kind of future pace for yourself what it will feel like if you don't do this reset right now. If, you could have had the first 8 months not go the way you want it, but if you really pull out all the stops, focus and reset and do an amazing job, or even a much better job the last 4 months, you'll finish your year strong and set yourself up right for the year to come. And if you don't do that, if you let the last 4 months drift and slip as well, then you're going to look at 2024 from the perspective of, I just lost that year. That year didn't really count. I'm not really feeling very good about it. So you want to finish these last 4 months strong. You want to focus and go for it, because there's still so much time left. So this is really the point where you still have a lot of time. So you want to focus on possibility and your learning opportunities rather than what history has shown that wasn't that great. So you still have plenty of time for tons of joy, for tons of achievement, when you're intentional about how you're going to live the rest of this year. So I invite you to really lean fully in on these 10 questions. You might want to rewind this and script out each one of these questions and make sure that you really reach deep when you do that. And look, if you want to know more about this, if you want to find out more for how you can actually refocus for the rest of the year with your business, go to bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap, bulletproofbusinessgrowth.com/leap, and check out the training we have in there. So I wish you all the best for this next week, and go reset.